Today on America's Court with Judge Ross.
We're church members. Just by the way she handled the whole thing was very inappropriate and ungodly.
Oh, ungodly. Oh, she was like, I'll see your disappointment and I will raise you an ungodly.
In my courtroom, it's about equity and fairness. Stop. Is that true? I don't want you to understand. I want you to overstand.
Yes, sir.
That's why they pay me the big bucks. Justice should be more than just some foreign concept. I actually want you to learn something.
That's not gonna happen. Not up in here, not today.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Celine Vance claims she refurbished a chaise lounge her neighbor threw out and says the defendant accused her of theft and damaged her rug out of spite.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
Ms. Vance is suing Milian Whittaker for $850. The defendant is countersuing for $1,200.
All parties have been sworn, Your Honor.
Deputy Thomas. All right, we got neighbors suing each other over a Chaise lounge chair. Ms. Vance, you are suing for $850 for damage to a rug. And Ms. Whittaker, you are countersuing because somehow your Chaise lounge ended up in Ms. Vance's possession. Do I have it right?
Yes.
All right, let's start with you, Ms. Vance. Talk to me.
I'm a DIY blogger. That's what I do.
You're a do-it-yourself blogger.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I
Good
take
for
trash, turn it into treasure.
Trash to treasure, nice and catchy. I like it. Yes,
So,
tell me more.
I was out in my neighborhood. I was driving somewhere, and I saw this Chaise lounge just out on the curb. I went, I ran my errands, I came back later, and it was still there. I believe I even saw...
How much time went by, what'd you say?
Like maybe 8 hours when I
Okay.
came back home in the evening.
Okay.
Yeah, it was still there. I saw it. I even believe at one point, I think I saw like a sign that said free.
All right.
I wasn't sure, but I took a picture of it. I took it home, I showed my daughter, and came back and I got it.
You got it.
I took
Your
it.
daughter helped you get it into whatever?
I dragged it to the van, dragged it out my house, dragged it, fixed it, everything.
And when you say you fixed it, tell me about that.
I had it reupholstered. I changed it up. It had like some old floral pattern. I changed that. I sanded down the wood myself. I fixed the seat. I changed the whole thing.
And you were very pleased with, I take it, with the
Yes.
before and after. And she was doing all this and you were like, but that's my chair.
Exactly, Your Honor.
Talk to me.
First, I'm just so disappointed. She's a church member. I was gone away.
What do you mean she's a church member?
As in, we attend the same church.
You guys go to the same church?
Yes.
So you all know each other?
Yes.
All right, and you worship together?
Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
And
so I was...
you're disappointed. That's such a tough word to hear someone say to someone else. You know, from one Christian to another, your disappointment to her.
I'm disappointed as well, Your Honor.
Why are you disappointed?
Just about the way we're neighbors, we're church members. Just by the way she handled the whole thing was very inappropriate and ungodly.
Oh, ungodly. Oh, she was like, I'll see your disappointment and I will raise you an ungodly. Talk to me.
So I was away. My husband was cleaning the garage.
You were away. Where were you?
I was in Chicago for work.
How long were you there?
I was there for a week.
All right.
So my husband was cleaning the garage, and he placed the Chaise on the curb so he can finish cleaning. And at no point was it ever a free sign or anything intentional for someone to take it. So when I returned home, he was upset and he told me that the Chaise was gone. It was my grandmother's Chaise, so it had sentimental value.
Understood. So when you got back initially, did your husband say to you, babe, I don't know what happened to the chair?
It took him a minute to acknowledge it.
Sounds like Deputy Thomas to me. That's one of those things.
If you don't wear it in 6 months, it's gone.
So it did take him a while to acknowledge it, and I was really upset. And so, but
And you didn't know who had it?
he didn't know who had it. He said he just had placed it out there for a couple of hours. That's what he told me.
A couple of hours.
Yes.
Game came on.
Gone.
Make me a sandwich. Oh, I think
Right.
I'll take a little nap. Next thing
Yeah.
you know,
It's
you look
gone.
up and it's like, where's my chair?
Exactly. Yes.
And so you had that conversation with him, and then what happened?
Fast forward, I was invited to her daughter's baby shower. I walk in, and lo and behold, I see something.
Now, how much time had gone by by the time the baby shower happened?
I would say it was like at least a month. At least a
Okay.
month.
Coming up on America's Court.
I never knew that it was a problem. If I had honestly thought I was stealing something and put it in my home, why would I then invite her to my home? Like,
Well, that makes sense.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program. America's Court is back with the case of Celine Vance, who is suing Leanne Whittaker for property damage.
Tell me more.
So I walk in, I see the Chaise. It looks different because she has done her own altercations. That was not needed.
You mean alterations?
Yes.
You're getting ready to have an altercation.
I'm sorry.
I know you did not just take my chair. My husband has been looking all over the place, high and low, for this chair. And here you had it, my Christian sister. And
Sorry.
and her reaction, did it surprise you, or?
yes.
I
very
would think
much.
it would.
Yes.
Like-
she was ranting and raving.
She was ranting and raving.
Yes. Yes.
What was the rant and the rave?
She was like, that's mine. You stole it. That belongs to my grandmother. That's a family heirloom. I tried to calmly explain to her that it was out on the curb. Her husband put it there. And Your Honor, it wasn't out there for a couple hours. It was out there all day. It had rained a little bit. It was cat hair all over it. It was out
Everybody
there.
having a good time with Grandma's Chase Lounge. So I would think it would even come up in conversation that since you had you all seen each other at church, or there had not been an opportunity to say, hey, by the way, that chair that you had laid out, I put it to good use. You didn't have any sort of?
I never knew that it was a problem. If I had honestly thought I was stealing something and put it in my home, why would I then invite her to my home? Like,
Well, that makes sense. She does make a point there. She's not going to tell the person that she stole from, you like my chair or what?
Right.
Right? So it seems as though her intentions were in good faith. But you said something about a free sign.
I thought I saw, like, later on at some point, I saw, like, a sign on it.
And you're like, tell the truth and shame the devil, huh?
Yes, exactly.
You don't believe that that's happened?
No, and she could have knocked on the door. She could have asked.
Well, but here's another point. If it's a sign that says free, why would she knock on the door?
I don't believe there was a sign.
And did you ask your husband, did he put a sign out?
I did, and he did not.
Or does he not remember?
I can't speak for him.
You can't speak for him. Good answer. Then what happens?
So at the baby shower, I confronted her because I needed confirmation that it was the chair. And she said it was. I had some beet juice in my hand, and it was a mistake, but I spilled it all over her rug. But I also attempted to clean it. I didn't know how to clean beet juice out of a rug. And so that's why we're here, because now she wants to sue me for that.
Well, beet juice is a deep reddish purple. What color was the rug?
The rug was ivory white.
Okay. Did she make the effort to do the very thing she claims in
Her
terms of?
effort was useless. She made it worse.
How did she make it worse?
She took a steaming hot rag and then she was rubbing it in. And I kept telling her to stop, please stop, please stop. And she was like, no, I could fix it. She made it totally worse. The stain is set into the rug.
My intentions were to help out.
Do you feel as though she had pure intentions?
No.
You don't. You think it was done purposely.
First of all, it wasn't a glass. It was a whole pitcher that she knocked over onto the rug.
She knocked over a pitcher of beet juice.
Yeah.
Well, you said it was glass.
Glass pitcher?
Okay, Christian ladies here. So it was a whole pitcher of beet juice.
Yes.
Why beet juice?
It was organic beet juice. I wanted an alternative, a healthier one, as opposed to punch.
Oh, because for the baby and
Yeah.
where everything's more.
I was trying to appease
And
everyone.
you over there rolling your eyes. I saw you. I happened to catch that. You rolled your eyes. What you're not a fan of beet juice?
I'm not a fan of how she's telling this story.
What is it that she's saying wrong?
I would expect it for her to go to my house, knock on the door, just to confirm that she could take the item.
The average person, when they see things abandoned, if they think it's abandoned, they don't do that.
have
And
a
I know
picture.
you all are in Pennsylvania, and
Yes.
Pennsylvania law, if someone abandons a piece of property, the finder's keeper sort of thing. It's like if you can show that there's a voluntary relinquishment of title or claim or possession, to me, someone that has a chair maybe in the driveway, maybe I'm cleaning, but if it's at the curb sort of suggests the chair was kicked to the curb, and whoever wants it, have at it. Now, you weren't there, and we don't have Jasper. Jasper didn't want to show up to court, huh? He didn't want to come see Judge Ross?
He wasn't available.
He wasn't available. Okay, all right, I got you. You suffered a loss with that rug.
Yes.
You have proof of your damages?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see that, please. I'll take it off. Thank you. And the $850 reflects what?
It reflects the cleaning of the rug and also the depreciated value of the rug.
I see this chair. Is this the chair that was out on the curb?
Yes.
You took a picture of it,
Yes.
but you didn't take a picture of the for free sign.
At that time, I didn't, no.
Okay. Interesting. This $303 is all the items that you needed to restore it. And then do you have a picture of what it looks like now?
Yes, I do. I believe it's the last picture.
Oh, wow. Very nice. Was that the rug?
Yeah.
Coming up on America's Court.
It's a big stain. Wow. Okay. So that rug was a wrap
It's over, yes.
for that.
This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program. America's Court is back with the case of Celine Vance, who is suing Leanne Whittaker for property damage.
Would you agree that it looks better, or you think it looked better the way it was?
I like the original.
You like the original?
Yes.
It does sort of give it a little bit more of an updated look, if nothing else.
Yeah.
And then, oh, this is the rug with the beet juice. It's a big stain. Wow. Okay. So that rug was a wrap
It's over, yes.
for that. Okay. Do you have any evidence you want to show me, ma'am? Or
Yes.
because you're countersuing for $1,200.
Yes.
What does that $1,200 reflect?
So the $1,200 is the cost for the Chaise. I was able to go online to find a similar one.
So this is saying that type of chair dates back to the 1930s.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So here's the issue. The court has to make a determination whether or not the property was in fact abandoned. And to the reasonable person seeing that item out, would they believe it was abandoned? Did Ms. Whittaker voluntarily relinquish title, right, and possession? But given that the husband had control over the circumstances as to why it was left out, would the average person who's seen something out for hours think that it was abandoned if it's on the curb? There also has to be a specific intent to terminate ownership.
Coming up on America's Court.
I recognize that you put a lot of work into the property, the item, because I also have to balance it with, this is a family item, it's sentimental. This is tough.
This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program. America's Court is back with the case of Celine Vance, who is suing Leanne Whittaker for property damage.
Something tells me there's a reason why you wanted to convey that there was a sign that said free, because that would satisfy that specific intent of there's no ambiguity. Obviously, the person wanted to get rid of it. They said take it or free or whatever. We don't have that here. And I recognize that you put a lot of work into the property, the item. This is tough, because I also have to balance it with this is a family item. It's sentimental. It has meaning. It's not like we're talking days at a time, because there's something in Pennsylvania also called accession. And I want to read that to you. If one adds value to another person's property and it was done in good faith, the person who added value must be reimbursed for the increase of the value. Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel is going to come down in favor. Well, let's start with the defendant, your counterclaim of $1,200. You really want the chair, correct?
Correct.
I believe you should get it back.
Thank you.
That said, at a minimum, the defendant should have to reimburse the plaintiff for the value of the increase and the current value of that property.
Judge Ross's verdict when America's Court returns. This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program.
The $850 was for what?
It was for the price that the professional cleaners charged me to try to clean it, and also the appreciated value of the rug.
Okay. I believe you're entitled to that. You're entitled to get compensated for the out-of-pocket losses you sustained as a result of that rug. The question is, given that you had spent $303 to upgrade the Chaise, in addition to that, how much more should you be able to get? I think it's appropriate for you to get an additional, I'm gonna make it an even $397. So there's $600 for that, $850 for the cleaning for the chair. So the defendant will get the Chaise Lounge back. So here's what we're doing. The plaintiff will get the $600 plus another $850 for a total of $1,450. Defendant will get back the chair. If the chair is not returned, then she would be entitled to that $1,200, but we're going to make sure that you, in fact, give her the chair back.
Yes.
All right? So that is the judgment as it relates to both parties. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $1,450 and receive the Chaise Lounge back.
The parties have any words or thoughts for each other before we step outside?
I think that the judge was fair, and I'm glad this could be resolved.
I'm glad we're getting our chair back.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.